Welcome to Open Mind Industries podcast, The Mind Unleashed. Sit back, relax, and unleash your mind. Hey guys, welcome to The Mind Unleashed, episode 21. How are you doing? Let's start off the episode with giving a few shout outs to my supporters. First one is going to be Lyft, the ride sharing app. Use our code TMUP for $15 off your first 3 rides with Lyft. Also, if you're looking to become a driver, type in our code. That'll help you out, be taken care of. Make some money on the side. Second supporter is going to be Weiss Productions. Weiss Productions is locally here in Orlando, Florida, and DeLand. They're based out of DeLand, Florida. If you're looking to get anything done, such as photography, weddings, any corporate events, good photography for your portfolios, check out Weiss Productions. Use our code OMI for 5% off your first, or when you book your next project with him. Sorry. If you're looking to get any drone photography done here in Orlando, Florida, or anywhere about Florida, check out Dine Art Studios. Use our code OMI for 5% off when you book your next project with Dine Art Studios. Check out Daniel Wieselberg, definitely amazing photographer. He does headshots for any of the actors here in Orlando, Florida for Disney, Universal, or if you're looking to get them on through local theaters. So use our code OMI for 5% off when you book your next project with him. Links will be down in the description in the podcast and the audio podcast, and when you guys are ready to look at those. Okay, now that I have my tongue twister all said and done, welcome to episode 21. This episode is going to be more geeky. It's going to be more about 3D printing in this one, and kind of my soapbox for 3D recycling. So, welcome to episode 21. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about 3D recycling and what's been going on. So, I've been dealing with the Robo 3D this week. Been trying to print like crazy with it, and unfortunately, the Arduino is getting a little bit warm, so I need to get a new fan for underneath the Merlin board to cool it down. My prints are coming out a little bit shitty. Have fine-tuned the software though for simplified 3D. Sorry to hear with some yelling and stuff like that. It is football day and the Redskins are playing. My Giants did lose today. So, what else is new? Anyway, so there's so many 3D printing companies out there. There's, you got MakerBot, XYZ Printing, Robo, Leapfrog, Dremel. I can just keep going on and on and on and on. FlashForge, fucking M3D. Where is the 3D recycling revolution? Where is, hey, you can make it, but you can recycle it, reuse it, save the fucking environment. There is only 2 companies that I do know of, and one is the Philibot, and that one goes for about like $2,000. Or sorry, about $2,000. And there's a new one by Reedy Tech, called the Protocycler. It's going for about $1,200, but it's an all-in-one system instead of using the Philibot, which you need piece by piece by piece, and you're looking at a lot of fucking cash right there. I think $10,000 is one part for like a whole unit that does all this shit, and I'm kind of pissed about this. This really should be a revolution where, there should be more 3D recycling systems, such from MakerBot, from XYZ, from Robo. These makers, these Kickstarters, these companies that are taking 3D printing by storm, bring it into the home, bring it into small businesses, prototype build and stuff like that. But there's nobody out there to do the 3D recycling. You look at it and you're like, okay, I've got a box of parts. Got another part here that I had to this is for the nameplate for the severed end systems things. This is now unusable material. And I don't know what to do with it. I legitimately don't know what to do with it. There's a option of, my buddy told me how to make a solution, which is just acetone 3D print, and then it turns it into a solution that becomes a super glue. Which you can, re-put your prints back together, or you can fill in the cracks from your 3D printing, what have you. But when you think about it, in your 3D printing, you're using support material, rafting, stuff like that. That's all unused material, and it's no way to reuse it, recycle it, stuff like that. I'm gonna probably get a hold of Waste Management and see what they can do with my 3D printer. They can grind them down to it. So pretty much what the Protocycler does, it's got a grinder. It grinds your prints down to a fine kind of pellet kind of thing. Then you can pour that into the reservoir, which extrudes it back into an extruder, and then you have your filament again. I think that's fucking amazing. Filabot kind of does it in another thing. It's like you need a grinder, you need a hopper, grinds it down, you get your pellets, you do it, and the process, but it's piece by piece by piece by piece, and you're like, what the fuck, man? Why does this cost so much money? And I understand that they've really been around for quite a while, and they gotta make money. They gotta pay for the parts, the building time, shit like that. But the thing is, you're not destroying people that are making the filaments. You're still going to need to buy filaments. You're still going to need to buy from whatever filament company you like to do. You're not, you're saving money, but yet you're saving the goddamn earth with, not you throwing the shit in the fucking landfill and it's not biodegradable. Which really pisses me off, because I went to go look around and I'm like, why isn't there more things on like 3D hubs? And I went around on Google, Yahoo, Bing, stuff like that, and checked, and people are like, no, you can buy a system, it's going to cost you this much money, and you got to buy pellets, make your own 3D prints, stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, where are these machines people are talking about? Where is this revolution to where we can recycle our prints? There is none. I've looked, and it's just like, and the one company that's doing it now, like I said, the Protocycler, is REDE, so Reedy Tech is the one that I'm looking at, and that one, the system goes for about $1,200 for an all-in-one. They're saying it takes 5 months when you put the order in to get your dang machine, because they have to build it from scratch and then give it to you and stuff like that. That's not a bad time to wait. I mean, it gives you time to have separate your 3D parts and have it ready to go. My biggest thing is like, it's, where the fuck is the technology? The technology is not here. It's sad. And everybody's like, well, if you can afford a 3D printer, you can afford these prices. And it's like, you can, but everybody's going with the cheap 3D printer, so they don't know what to fucking do with the filament. People, you're gonna have rafting, you're gonna have support material because you're looking for the, what in the fuck? I'm sorry about that. What the fuck are you supposed to do with it? You just sit on it and throw it in a landfill? I've admitted from last year, I've literally had a garbage bag, not a garbage bag, but more like a bag from a grocery store that you just carry out your food in and stuff like that. I've literally filled that up with all my prints and only had tossed away one of them last year. I was so anal about it, but everybody has been getting at me about, hey, Ollie, what are you doing with the 3D prints? What are you doing with them? And I literally tell them I don't know. Usually all my prints come out good. I don't use a lot of support material thanks to Simplified 3D. They don't support me or sponsor the podcast in any way. What Simplified 3D lets you do is it lets you put the support material where you want it, so you're not using as much and you're using less filament and killing, i.e. the environment. You're not wasting a lot of time 3D printing your parts ready to go, stuff like that. I'm not a tree hugger, but I'm just like, I've got a box full of fucking PLA that I don't know what to do with, and it's like, where the fuck is, where are these companies? Why aren't companies sitting there going, he's got a point. You can 3D print. What about the prints that didn't make it, such as my prints I have now? Ollie might be right. It's kind of sad. You look at it and you're just like, crap. He's right. This needs to happen in this way. I don't know. Like I said, football's going on right now, so there's a lot of cheering going on. But this needs to become a new form, a new factor to, we're able to make the best printers possible. But I think 3D printing companies, or even that 3D printing service from Waste Management, or a company that's like, hey, send us your shitty prints in a box. We'll send you a box. Fill it up to specified, percentage. No matter what it weighs, if it weighs blah, 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 a pound, send it back to us, UPS, USPS. Send that back to us, send your material back to us. We'll recycle it, and then send you a roll of filament in return of recycled, PLA, ABS, what have you. I think that would be something. I really would. I think that'd be something, because, man, there's nothing out there that's doing it for us, for model makers, 3D designers. We just end up throwing our prints into a fucking landfill and just don't think about it, which I think, and granted, I've been thinking about this for the last 2 years, and people that I 3D print for and use a lot of 3D printing, especially if like parts don't come out the way you want, you can't reuse them. You can't, you look at it and you go, shit, I gotta throw that in a recycler. Getting on. So, daylight savings time happened, and this is the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. There you go, I said it. But yeah, this definitely needs to happen soon. There needs to be more companies out there to kick some ass. Even the idea I just said of a company just grinding your prints, sending them back. Now, there are 3D filament companies that use recycled material. How they get it, I'm not sure. The filament is not much cheaper than buying just a new roll of filament from specified companies. I'm not going to specify, but I really think this 3D revolution needs to start looking at it as a bigger picture of 3D recyclers. I would be one of the buyers if it became, but I can barely afford, getting a new printer. So I'm basically waiting for the XYZ to get fixed so I can do some more printing. But I'm just saying, it's, if you came up with a recycler for about $800, an all-in-one system, and said, okay, this is going to take care of a lot of your prints and a lot of your scrap, and it's going to be better for the environment. You can reuse your material. People would be at fucking awe. And there's, like I said, there's only 2 units that I see right now. The Philibot, which is a big company now, seems like a bigger company. They're taking big orders like that. And then the minor company that's just come out about 2 years ago, and they've had some issues, but now they're kind of getting into the work, kind of building the systems, putting them together. And that is going to be the Protocycler from Reedy Tech over in Canada. So definitely check them out. I'll put links down in the description. But I am done with my soapbox on that. On to our next 3D printing thing. It's called the snapmaker. The snapmaker is a new 3D printer that just came out. I've been hitting them up for quite a bit for some information. They're on Kickstarter. They just started about, I want to say about 3 months ago. And I hit them up. Getting on. This is what happens when you talk really fast. I hit them up for a podcast questionnaire, and they finally got back to me about 2 weeks ago, and they said, hey man, what's this podcast you're talking about? So I said, hey man, I do a podcast deal, Mind Unleashed, this is what I talk about, yada yada yada. And this is really 3D printing heavy episode. So I hit them up and I said, okay, well, what questions do you want? So I bullet pointed, like, the printer's geared towards makers, designers, yada yada yada. Went down that. I said, hey, what materials can a 3D printer print in? TPE, PLA, ABS, heated bed, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, what I do know about it is I think ABS and PLA, because it does have a heated bed. The laser engraver, how deep can it engrave? What can it engrave? What would you recommend? The CNC, what materials can it do? What's the safety on it? Can you change the bits out? Second question was, if I need to change the nozzle out on a 3D printer, what nozzles can I use? Can I use an E3D head? So what I'm getting at is I sent them all these things, and then they finally get back to me and said, okay, where's this going to be used? What's your area? Who's your people you're talking to? So I talked about it. I said, hey man, I got friends that are makers that do cosplay. I got friends that run professional companies that are looking into getting their own 3D printers. I've got people that do models. I've got people that are RC car racers. Like they do RC cars. That's their passion. They're looking for a different outlet to 3D print parts, stuff like that. The one thing that kind of got me yesterday was I was on Instagram, and Snapmaker finally they posted a YouTube tutorial, and I was like, holy shit, like 3 weeks ago you didn't have a 3D tutorial. Now that I've kind of spoken to your media person, you're putting one out. I'm not saying I had anything to do with that, but I'm pretty sure I did, because I've been asking these questions for you guys, for the makers, for the people that are putting money into Kickstarter for them. But unfortunately, they got back to me and said, hey, right now we're just not ready we're not built for media. We're not built to do a podcast. We're not even set up to do that. Right now we're trying to get the product out. So, they didn't say no to the podcast. They said right at this time they're not really ready to talk to me on a podcast yet, but they said, we really want to talk to you soon. once maybe everything calms down and our Kickstarter goes well and we're ready to go. But I really think the company should have at least give me a questionnaire, because there's a lot of questions I still have to ask about it. But so in the near future, if you guys want to check out Snapmaker, check out snapmaker.com. Hit them up on Instagram at Snapmaker. Not to be confused with the Moe's printer. I know it looks exactly alike, and that's just me going on a tangent. Looks exactly alike. Just be careful. It's Snapmaker, not the Moe's. Look very carefully. They both look the same and do the same thing it looks like. But just be careful. We're talking about the Snapmaker, not the Moe's. Just be very, very careful on which printer you choose. But we're talking about Snapmaker, and hopefully all the best to Snapmaker, and see if they kick ass and do their thing, and hopefully we'll talk to them in the future. And I'm playing with my pants here because I have a little super glue on them. But yeah, I mean, like, the stuff I sent them is like, hey, boom, 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 boom. Things you guys would want to know. If you want to know any more, check out their Kickstarter. I'll put a link down in the description. Again, for Snapmaker, I did an episode last week talking about Snapmaker and stuff like that. There's a few things I left out. Sorry. Just talking really fast and hungry. Anyway. So, talk to them. So they're probably going to be talking to me in the future, but check them out. Do all the good stuff. 3D printing stuff. Good. I've been playing with PLA, doing CAD, studying CAD. Gonna need to cool down the Robo, because unfortunately my Arduino board's getting a little too warm and it's fucking up my prints, as you already saw. And that's what's been kind of bugging me this week, is like, I even got riders that I printed out when I first bought the printer from Robo 3D. And what it does is it lifts the printer up. I took the bed. The new Robos come with a bed. The first ones never came with a bed underneath it to close it off, wiring and stuff like that. I ended up taking mine off to give it more airflow. But unfortunately, a longer print. This printer definitely needs to be cooled down with a fan. So I think I'm gonna come up with a little quick idea, and maybe we'll cool down the damn the Arduino board for me. But other than that, guys, I've been like working on the 3D printing. I made a little bag here, if you're a 3D printing nerd, of my own little concoction, which is just glue sticks and water. I just kind of blended them together really good. So it's kind of a gooey situation. It's kind of like my own little kind of goop for PLA to keep it on the bed. So far, it's working phenomenally well. I thought about getting a can of Wolf Bite, stuff like that from Airwolf. That stuff runs about $19.99, about $20, $32. So $19 for a small bottle, $30 for a kind of big canister of it. And a glue stick pack, 30 pack, only cost me $6. You do the math. What would I rather do? Glue or hairspray or concoction that they came up with? So I made my own concoction. Seems to be working really well. But that's what I've been working on with that. Playing around with some settings. I think I got the PLA stuff finally worked out. I just got to get the board cooled down, because I'm finding there's an issue with that. I don't want this one to blow either. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I have for this week. That was my soapbox. That was my quickness. Bill and Ted last show was last night. Congratulations to the crew that did in Hollywood and Orlando. You guys freaking rocked. It was good to see the show one more time. See it about 3 times this summer, or this Halloween, sorry. You can tell I'm tired. Did a great job. It's going to be sad for not to see a Halloween show that makes fun of pop culture. But we'll see what happens with Halloween Horror Nights. We'll see what they add. I'm guessing they're going to add something, a new show, because they got to have a show for HHN. But we'll see. We'll see. I have a theory why it's going away, but I'm not going to give it away. But we'll see. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to call it for you guys. I'm hoping this was a quick episode just to blast your ears off about 3D printing. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, I'm going to look into this company, Reedy Tech, about their grinder, slimer, all that kind of crap. I'm going to see what the hell they have to offer. I've already logged on to their Facebook page, became a subscriber of their stuff. We'll see what happens. Maybe I can sit down with them and talk with them. Maybe you know. Our upcoming episodes are going to be with Moby Lee. I think I got to set something up with him through Skype. Maurice Hughes, and then a friend of mine, Ben Patton. I'll be talking with them all about their journeys, lives. Movies will be about his porn. It's thing, his new podcast or his new web series on YouTube. Check him out, Moby Lee. YouTube, check him out. And I'll be talking with Maurice Hughes soon, the gentleman that came down from the Netherlands to see the last Terminator show, talking about T2 3D, our last experiences with it, why he likes T2 so much, stuff like that. And Ben, he just got done writing an app code for a business. He's been at some TED talks, stuff like that. So he kind of deals with like HR kind of stuff. So I think that'd be fun to talk with him and kind of see what his mindset is with developing and stuff like that, and why he loves doing it. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, this is a quick ramble, but this is about what's been going on in my brain about just why is there not, you've got so many 3D printers, but there's not enough 3D recycling, or what are we going to do in the future about 3D recycling? Two companies have already answered the question, but I wish there was a bigger option. And like I said, there could be a company out there that's like, hey, send me your old 3D prints, we grind them down, we send you back your filament for black cost. So there's a cost value in there, but what if you could do it at home? And these two companies are trying to do that. The one's a little more expensive, and the other one is more practical. And like, hey, you can now sit at home, grind your shit down, and reuse it for your maker, or, if you're a designer, what have you. I think that's awesome. But who knows? We'll see. Alrighty, guys. Thanks as always for tuning in. For anything Open Mind, check out openmindindustries.com. If you want to donate to our Patreon, please feel free. If any of it helps, that'd be great. You can help me start saving some money for this grinder for the recycler. That'd be awesome. I'd appreciate that. If you have a question for the podcast, openmindindustries@gmail.com. Hit us up, ask me a question. Doing some Open Mind Gaming soon. Be more on the Patreon page, because now they're allowing YouTube instead of Twitch, and I can actually do some live streaming from YouTube, so that's pretty cool. I'm still playing around with all that stuff. I'll talk to you guys this week, so you're getting like probably 2 for 1. We'll see what happens. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for keeping positive. Wish you all the best. And holidays are coming up. All the best. And we'll talk to you guys later this week. Keep an open mind. See ya.